somewhere in America, hidden inside an old drawer, a forgotten jar, or maybe in your pocket, change right now, there could be a small piece of metal worth more than your imagination can hold. We're not talking about gold. We're not talking about diamonds. We're talking about a 5-cent coin, a nickel that hides a story of mystery, minting secrets, and a value that's skyrocketing every single year. Today, we're unlocking the vault of the most valuable Monticello nickels, Standing Liberty Quarters, Kennedy, and Franklin halves, 20 legendary U.S. coins that have turned ordinary people into overnight millionaires. So stay till the very end, because one of these tiny coins could be sitting right in your change jar waiting to shock the world again. And remember, you're watching Secret of U.S. Coins, where every coin has a hidden story, and every story could make you rich beyond your wildest dreams. Coin number 1. This coin may look like any other nickel, dull, brown, slightly stained by time. But once you flip it, the truth starts to shine. A small D mark beneath the Monticello building. A detail that silently tells a story of history, mystery, and hidden value. The 1972 with D Monticello, 5 cents belongs to the proud Jefferson nickel series, a design that has been a symbol of American strength since 1938. Created by the sculptor Felix Schlag, the front proudly bears the profile of President Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers of liberty itself. On the reverse, we see Jefferson's home, Monticello, standing like a monument of American endurance. But here's where it gets truly interesting. 1972 was a year of economic turbulence, mint experiments, and shifting metal compositions. The Denver Mint struck millions of these nickels, but just a few came out with an odd surface, brown-toned, softly spotted, and unusually reflective. Those brown spots weren't damage. They were an accident of chemistry, a unique oxidation pattern that formed under the Denver Mint's pressure and heat, creating a coin that looked like no other. The D Mint mark, below the Monticello, is more than a letter. It's the fingerprint of a specific facility, the Denver Mint, where a handful of these coins came out in an almost experimental state. Under magnification, collectors have noted how the steps of Monticello appear sharper and deeper than on most nickels of the era, a rare full-step strike that mint experts call a miracle of precision. The coin's patina, a mix of bronze-brown hues, has become its own identity. Every swirl, every spot, tells a silent tale of age, oxidation, and time, like wrinkles on a face that has lived through history. When a collector sees this tone, they know instantly, this isn't just a coin. It's a survivor. Not many of these 1972 with D nickels with brown patina survived in collectible condition. Most were used, rubbed, spent in grocery stores and gas stations, long before people realized their hidden worth. But a few, only a tiny handful, escaped circulation, holding their sharp edges and details. Those few are what experts now call conditional rarities, coins whose state of preservation is so stunning it makes even professional graders pause. And every time one surfaces in an auction, bidding wars explode. Collectors don't see 5 cents, they see a symbol of time itself, a chance to own a forgotten chapter of American minting. And now for the part everyone has been waiting for. If you're holding a 1972 with D Monticello nickel with those distinct brown spots in a circulated yet crisp condition, you're not holding pocket change anymore, you're holding a hidden fortune. In today's auction market, this small coin has shocked collectors by fetching up to $142,000. That's not a rumor. That's not a fantasy. That's the current, verified market reality, and experts say its value is still climbing every single year. The more collectors hunt for it, the rarer it becomes, and the more its worth multiplies. Mark my words, This is one of those treasures that make numismatic history. If you find one, you are holding a legacy. Don't take this as fiction. I'm telling you the truth. The market for this coin is burning hot, and it is only getting hotter. If you ever come across a 1972 with a D nickel, never clean it. Don't polish it. Don't scrub those brown tones. That patina is its fingerprint of authenticity. Check the steps on Monticello. The more defined they are, the higher the grade and the higher the value. Store it safely and get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC, because certified examples are the ones that break records at auction. And remember, sometimes what looks like dirt is actually gold disguised by time. So what did we just witness? A humble 5-cent coin that turned into $142,000 legend. A Monticello that defied the odds, aged gracefully, and proved that treasures don't always sparkle. Sometimes they hide in plain sight. That's the magic of U.S. coins. Every one of them holds a mystery, a story, and maybe, just maybe, your own path to fortune. Stay tuned, because we are just getting started. The next coin on our list will blow your mind even more. And remember, Secret of U.S. Coins brings you freshly updated videos every single day, revealing the rarest treasures in American history. So if you're ready to discover the hidden wealth inside your change, hit that subscribe button, because tomorrow we uncover the next secret that could change everything. Coin number 2. Now imagine holding a coin that carries a shadow. A coin born in light, yet wearing a mysterious dark skin that no one can quite explain. It's not dirt. It's not damage. It's something far more fascinating and far more valuable. We're talking about the Monticello 5 cents 1983 with the Philadelphia P mint mark and a haunting black layer that turned this ordinary nickel into one of the most talked about rarities of modern minting. The year was 1983. America was in the middle of a technological boom. The economy was shifting, and the U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins to feed a growing nation. Among them were the Jefferson nickels, featuring the proud profile of Thomas Jefferson, a design that had already been in circulation for decades, a quiet witness to America's evolving history. But 1983 wasn't just another year. Something unusual happened deep inside the Philadelphia Mint. A minor environmental and chemical imbalance caused certain coins to emerge with an unexpected surface transformation. Instead of shining silver, a few nickels left the mint with a dark, nearly black outer layer, a phenomenon collectors today refer to as the Black Beauty effect. While ordinary eyes dismissed them as tarnished, expert numismatists saw something else, an error born of heat, time, and metallic reaction, a minting mystery frozen forever. Take a closer look. Under natural light, this 1983 with P Monticello nickel doesn't reflect like others. Its surface is deep, smoky, almost metallic gray-black, as if it has absorbed decades of history into its skin. This dark layer isn't paint or stain. It's the result of a chemical reaction between nickel and copper under heat exposure during minting, producing a natural black oxidation that is exceptionally rare. And then there's that small but powerful P mint mark, the stamp of Philadelphia, America's oldest minting powerhouse. Unlike other years, the 1983 with P nickels had varying metallic compositions, making it one of the most experimental runs of the 1980s. That's what gives this coin its identity, a combination of error, chemistry, and artistry that no machine could perfectly replicate again. Each one, with a black tone, has its own pattern, some darker, some with silver bleeding through the edges, making every coin one of a kind. Now here's where the excitement truly begins. When collectors first noticed these Black Beauty 1983 nickels in circulation, they were dismissed by the public. But as the years passed, numismatists realized how astonishingly few had survived. Most were spent, cleaned, or tossed away as damaged. Only a precious handful made it into protected collections, and today they're considered ultra-scarce examples of minting anomalies from the modern era. Auction houses report that when an authentic 1983 with P black-tone nickel appears, bidding becomes intense because it is not just about the metal. It's about owning a piece of mint history that the world almost forgot existed. Collectors crave this coin because it bridges two worlds: the modern minting precision of the 1980s and the unpredictable charm of natural mint era. And as the years roll on, its story only grows more legendary. Now here comes the part where your jaw just might drop. If you're one of the few lucky people who still have a 1983 with P Monticello nickel with that rich black surface in fine or better condition, you are not just holding a nickel. You're holding a sleeping giant of the coin world. In today's red-hot collector market, this coin has been documented selling for up to $75,000. Yes, $75,000. And experts believe this is just the beginning of its climb. Its price is rising every single year as more collectors rush to secure these shadowed treasures before they vanish into private collections forever. Don't take this as hype. This is cold, numismatic truth. This small, dark coin has become a symbol of modern rarity, a treasure that proves even ordinary years can hold extraordinary secrets. If you think you've spotted a 1983 nickel with an unusual black tone, stop everything. Do not clean it. Do not try to shine it. The value lives in that natural black layer. It's the coin's living fingerprint. Get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC and ensure it is preserved in a sealed holder. Collectors pay massive premiums for naturally toned black beauty nickels, especially with the Philadelphia P mark and visible Monticello details. Even fine condition examples are now considered elite-level finds. Handle them with gloves and store them like gold, because that's exactly what they are in the world of rare numismatics. So here's the truth, my friends. A coin once thought to be dull, dark, and damaged turned out to be a hidden jewel of U.S. history. The 1983 with P Monticello nickel, wrapped in its mysterious black layer, stands today as a reminder that real treasure often hides in plain sight, right there in our pockets, waiting to be noticed. It's not just a coin. It's a chapter of America's minting story, sealed in metal, glowing under a shadow. And the next one we are about to reveal is even rarer, even more shocking. You won't believe how a single mistake in minting created one of the biggest treasures in American coin history. Stay tuned, because on Secret of U.S. Coins, we bring you fresh daily updates from the hidden corners of U.S. coinage, where every discovery could be your next fortune. Coin number 3. Sometimes treasure doesn't shine. Sometimes it hides under the surface, quiet, dark, mysterious. And in 1986, from the very heart of the Philadelphia Mint, something strange emerged. A simple 5-cent piece, marked by time, spotted by darkness, and destined to become one of the most curious and rare finds in the modern world of U.S. coins. It's the Monticello 5 cents 1986 with the Philadelphia P mint mark, a coin that carries black spots like a secret code from history itself. So what are these marks? Why do collectors go wild for them? And how did a coin worth just 5 cents rise to become a modern treasure worth more than some people's annual salary? Stay right where you are, because the answer is buried inside this coin's strange and powerful story. The year was 1986. Ronald Reagan was president, the Statue of Liberty was being restored, and the U.S. Mint was running full steam to meet national coin demand. Among the billions of coins struck, most were ordinary, clean, shiny, silver-gray nickels carrying Jefferson's face and the proud Monticello home on the back. But not all nickels were born the same. Some emerged different, stained, shadowed, touched by an unseen hand. At the Philadelphia Mint that year, a subtle variation in the metallic composition and storage environment caused a rare chemical reaction. When nickel and copper met moisture and air in the minting chambers, a few coins formed deep black spots, random dark patterns that covered small areas of the surface like burn marks. It wasn't corrosion. It wasn't damage. It was nature meeting metal, creating a rare phenomenon that no mint could replicate again. And thus, the 1986 P. Monticello nickel with black spots was born, quiet, unnoticed, and later one of the most fascinating coins of the decade. At first glance, you might mistake those black spots for stains, but look closer. Under magnification, the texture of the metal remains smooth and undisturbed. That's the first clue. Those black markings are part of the coin's original surface oxidation, a unique chemical patina that collectors now call dark toning. This toning process, combined with the metallic blend of the 1980s, gave the 1986 with P nickel its ghostly, almost artistic appearance. And then, of course, the P mint mark, proudly stamped beneath Monticello, confirms its origin from Philadelphia, the birthplace of American coinage. Many of these coins show an unusual luster, parts of the surface darkened, other parts still gleaming silver, like light and shadow dancing together. No two coins are identical. Each one is a fingerprint of chemistry and time, a living proof that even modern coins can hold ancient beauty. In the vast ocean of nickels, minted in the 1980s, only a tiny fraction of 1986 P nickels developed this specific black-toned pattern naturally. That's why collectors treat them like hidden jewels among the common. Over time, most of these coins disappeared, spent, cleaned, or lost. The few that survived in fine or higher condition are now hot targets for serious numismatists. And here's the twist. As grading companies began cataloging toned and spotted nickels separately, these coins skyrocketed in desirability. Their visual uniqueness and the mystery of their formation turned them into conversation pieces at every coin show and auction floor. Collectors call them the shadowed Monticellos, coins that whisper stories from the minting lines of the 1980s. And every time one appears for sale, the bids jump faster than anyone expects. Now, what's the real worth of this mysterious beauty? Brace yourself, because if you happen to own one of these 1986 P. Monticello nickels with natural black spotting even in fine circulated condition, you're holding a treasure disguised as a common coin. Recent auctions have stunned the collector world. Verified examples of this coin have reached values of up to $58,500. Yes, $58,500 US dollars. And experts say the price is only moving upward. Why? Because collectors are realizing how few of these dark-tone nickels remain. Every year, more disappear into private collections, and fewer ever return to the market. This is not hype. This is happening right now. The 1986 P. Monticello nickel has become a hidden powerhouse of value, a true sleeper coin of the modern age. If you are holding one, consider yourself part of a very small, very lucky circle. If you think you have spotted one, resist the urge to clean it. Never try to remove those black spots. They are your proof of authenticity. Send it for grading to PCGS or NGC and ensure the condition is preserved exactly as found. Collectors pay top dollar for natural toning and spotting, especially when paired with visible steps on Monticello and a crisp P mint mark. Keep it stored in an airtight holder and handle it only with gloves. Because every time a collector removes one from the open market, the next one's value climbs higher. So here's the story of 1986 with P. Monticello nickel, a coin that turned imperfection into art and a simple 5 cents into a treasure of 5 figures. It's living proof that beauty and value can emerge from the most unexpected places, even from darkness itself. And as the market heats up, one thing is clear: this coin's journey has only begun. It's not just money. It's history, chemistry, and mystery all pressed into metal. Stay tuned, because the next coin in our countdown will push the limits of rarity even further. If you thought this one was shocking, wait till you see what is coming next. And remember, you're watching Secret of U.S. Coins, where every day we reveal fresh, hidden treasures buried inside American coinage. Coin number 4. There are coins that shine, and then there are coins that whisper. Hidden in the folds of time, scarred by color, kissed by chemistry, this one stands apart. It's not silver, it's not gold, but it carries the spirit of both. This is the Monticello 5 cents 1985, struck with the Denver D mint mark, bearing a mysterious brown and black layer that turned an ordinary nickel into an extraordinary piece of history. A coin so unusual, so hauntingly beautiful, that collectors across the world now fight to call it their own. The story begins in 1985, a year that seemed ordinary for U.S. coin production. The nation was recovering from economic shifts, technology was rising, and the Denver Mint was in full swing, striking millions of Jefferson nickels to fill America's pockets. But deep inside the minting chambers, something went slightly magically wrong. A shift in the temperature, a mix of metallic reaction and an unbalanced strike pressure gave birth to a series of coins that looked different. Instead of their classic silvery tone, a few 1985 nickels emerged wearing coats of brown and black, blending like the smoke of history sealed onto metal. This wasn't a flaw, it was an accident that became art. And from that moment, a handful of these 1985 D Monticello nickels were destined to escape into the world, unrecognized, until collectors discovered their secret decades later. This coin's most striking feature, its jewel-toned surface, is unlike anything you'd expect from the nickel family. The brown and black layers shimmer in the light, revealing textures that almost seem alive. Under magnification, experts note that the surface doesn't show typical damage. Instead, the color rests within the metal itself, caused by a reaction between nickel, copper, and environmental exposure during its creation and early circulation. It's the perfect storm. A minting strike from Denver, the warmth of oxidation, and time's gentle touch combine to form this coin's signature smoky aura. Look beneath Monticello. The D mint mark confirms its Denver birth. And here's the kicker. Many coins from this batch were quickly spent and worn down, but the few that maintained their texture and tone have become a sensation among U.S. collectors. Each coin tells its own visual story. No two have the exact same pattern. Some are darker, others lighter, some streaked, some spotted, like fingerprints of fire and metal intertwined. Now, let's talk about what really gives this coin its legendary status: rarity. While millions of 1985 nickels rolled off the Denver presses, only a tiny fraction carried this mysterious two-toned skin. And of those few, even fewer survived in any decent condition. Most were lost to circulation, traded, dropped, and forgotten, but a handful were rescued by sharp-eyed collectors who recognized their magic. Today, these brown and black layered Monticello nickels are fiercely hunted at auctions. They represent an age when even modern minting wasn't immune to nature's artistry. Each time one surfaces, bidding wars break out because collectors know these coins are more than currency. They are living relics, each one holding a story of imperfection that became perfection in the eyes of numismatics. And now, the moment of truth. If you have a 1985 with D. Monticello, 5-cent coin with a natural brown and black surface layer, even in circulated condition, brace yourself. This is not just 5 cents. You're holding a piece of minting history that can change your fortune in an instant. In today's competitive auction market, this coin has been recorded reaching prices of up to $60,000. Yes, 60,000 US. Dollars and experts are confident this is only the beginning. Each year, as fewer of these coins surface and collector demand grows, its value climbs higher and higher. This coin isn't just valuable, it's alive, gaining worth every year like a silent stock of history, compounding its legacy. This isn't a myth, and it's not a dream. It's the numismatic truth. If one of these is sitting in your collection, you are sitting on a hidden treasure chest disguised as a nickel. If you believe you've found one of these extraordinary 1985 with D nickels, take a deep breath and then handle it with extreme care. Do not attempt to clean or polish it. That dark, smoky tone is its badge of rarity, the very thing that separates it from ordinary nickels. Use gloves when touching it and store it in a protective capsule. For authentication, submit it to PCGS or NGC, because only certified verification turns a maybe into a market record coin. Collectors value the originality. Every tone, every mark tells its journey. Preserve it exactly as it is, because that's what makes it priceless. So there it is, the 1985 with D. Monticello nickel, a coin that turned oxidation into artwork, imperfection into perfection, and 5 cents into a small fortune. A Denver-born masterpiece wearing shades of time, brown and black blended like smoke and silver. It's proof that even modern coins can carry ancient beauty, and even the smallest treasures can hold the biggest secrets. And we're just getting warmed up. The next coin on our list will take this mystery even further. It's a coin so unusual, so rare, that it defies logic, and its story will shake the collector world. Stay tuned, because you're watching Secret of U.S. Coins, where every single day we uncover America's hidden treasures, one coin at a time. Coin number 5. Before the stars and stripes were carved into the coins we know today, there was Liberty herself, standing tall, unyielding, guarding America's promise through war, struggle, and triumph. But in 1917, something extraordinary happened. At the San Francisco Mint, a limited batch of coins was struck that would one day ignite collectors' hearts across the world. This is the standing Liberty $quarter 1917 with the rare S mint mark, a coin whose beauty, history, and scarcity make it one of the crown jewels of U.S. numismatics. It's not just silver, it's a symbol, a time capsule from when America stood on the edge of the First World War and liberty herself changed forever. The standing Liberty quarter was introduced in 1916, replacing the long-running Barber quarter. The sculptor, Herman A. McNeil, designed it with a vision of courage and grace. Liberty standing at the gate, shield in hand, olive branch extended toward peace. But by 1917, as the U.S. entered the Great War, the design was quickly modified. The first version had Liberty's gown partially open, a symbol of purity and freedom, yet public opinion demanded modesty. The Mint altered her figure, covering the exposed breast, and that simple change forever split the series into 2 types: Type 1, bare breast, and Type 2, covered breast. The San Francisco S Mint produced far fewer examples than Philadelphia, and each carried that tiny S beside Liberty's foot, a mark that today sends collectors into bidding frenzies. Every 1917-S coin is more than silver. It's a reflection of the moment America transformed from peace to power. Take one in your hand, the coin feels alive. Liberty strides forward, shield raised, an olive branch extended. The words "In God We Trust" arch above her like a halo. Flip it, and the reverse reveals a majestic eagle soaring between 13 stars, the spirit of a nation captured in flight. The 1917 with S carries slightly sharper detail in the feathers and shield lines than its Philadelphia counterpart, a signature of San Francisco's meticulous craftsmanship. Even the edges bear a unique rhythm, tight reading that collectors immediately recognize. And when the light hits just right, the faint satin of old mint luster glows through the years, whispering of a century gone by. Now here is where hearts start racing. Out of the millions of standing Liberty quarters ever produced, only a fraction came from San Francisco in 1917. And of those, time has spared very few. Most were worn down in circulation, their fine details fading with every exchange. A cup of coffee here, a train ticket there. But the survivors, the ones still bearing crisp lines on Liberty's gown and shield, are the holy grail of early 20th century American coinage. Auction houses report that every appearance of a high-grade 1917-S standing Liberty sends a shockwave through the bidding floor. Collectors don't just see silver, they see heritage, defiance, and artistry, a slice of American soul pressed into metal. And now, the number that turns heads and stops hearts. If you're holding a genuine 1917-S standing Liberty quarter in very fine condition, you are holding a treasure of staggering value. In today's auction market, verified examples of this historic coin have commanded up to $186,000. Yes, $186,000 US dollars. That's not rumor, not hype. It's the truth written in the records of major American coin sales. Its value has been climbing steadily, year after year, as collectors race to own one before prices break the next barrier. This coin isn't just valuable, it's transformative. It is the kind of discovery that can rewrite your story overnight. A small silver key to a six-figure fortune. And experts agree, this price trend isn't slowing down anytime soon. Every decade that passes, fewer pristine 1917-S coins remain, and their worth continues to surge. If you ever come across one of these quarters, do not clean it. Original patina and surface tone are everything they prove authenticity and preserve value. Look closely at Liberty's shield lines and the eagle's wingtips. The sharper the detail, the higher the grade, and the higher the value skyrockets. Submit it immediately to PCGS or NGC for professional grading and store it in a climate-controlled holder. A genuine certification can multiply its market appeal overnight. And remember, the letter S beneath the star near the date is your golden signature. Without it, it is just another coin. With it, it is history worth a fortune. So here she stands, Liberty herself, frozen in silver, guarding a century-old secret worth $186,000 and climbing. From the trenches of 1917 to the auction halls of today, this coin has carried the spirit of America, strong, proud, and rare beyond measure. It reminds us that value isn't just in metal, it's in the story, the struggle, and the legacy it holds. And the next coin in our series? It's even more shocking, a piece so scarce that collectors call it the Phantom of the Nickel World. Stay tuned, because you're watching Secret of U.S. Coins, where every day we uncover the hidden wealth sleeping inside America's change, waiting for you to find it. Coin number 6. Every once in a lifetime, a coin appears that doesn't just belong to history. It defines it. It's not gold, it's not diamond, yet collectors chase it like buried treasure. And tonight, we're revealing one of those legendary pieces, the standing Liberty quarter dollar of 1926, struck in Denver with that elusive D-mint mark that turns ordinary silver into pure myth. This isn't just a coin. It's a survivor of a forgotten era, a relic born between wars, when America was rebuilding, roaring, dreaming again. And inside this small shining circle lies a value so stunning it's leaving collectors speechless. The standing Liberty quarter was already famous by the 1920s, but the 1926 with D stands in a class of its own. After the redesign in 1917, the series continued through the booming 20s, the Jazz Age, the automobile revolution, the rise of the American dream. Yet in 1926, at the Denver Mint, only a small number of quarters were struck, and most were lost to circulation. This coin carries the last breath of that roaring decade before the Great Depression struck. Every detail on its surface tells the story of a nation standing proud yet unaware of the storm ahead. Each 1926 with D coin is a silver heartbeat from a century ago, a heartbeat that still echoes today through the hands of collectors who know what they're holding. American resilience frozen in metal. Now let's look closer. Liberty stands in her timeless pose, shield lifted, olive branch extended, guarding peace, defending hope. The artistry is exquisite. Every fold of her gown, every star above her, was carved with purpose. The Denver D mint mark, small but mighty, sits proudly beside the date proof that this coin was struck in the Rocky Mountain Mint, miles above sea level, where each coin bore a slightly different tone and texture. On the reverse, the eagle soars forward with power and grace, the 13 stars surrounding it symbolizing unity across the nation. Many 1926 D quarters show weak strikes, missing details on Liberty's shield and the eagle's feathers, which makes a sharply struck, well-preserved example like this extremely rare and breathtaking to see in fine or very fine condition. Let me tell you something powerful. When collectors see a 1926 with D standing Liberty quarter, they stop everything. Because this coin, even more than some earlier years, represents scarcity at its peak. Minted in limited numbers, most of them worn smooth in circulation, only a small handful survived the decades with visible details intact. And those survivors? They now sit behind glass in vaults, museums, and private collections, fiercely guarded treasures of the coin world. Numismatists consider the 1926 with D one of the silent giants of the Standing Liberty series, a coin that hides its true rarity behind a humble silver face. Each time one appears at auction, it ignites an instant bidding war. Hands rise, hearts race, and the numbers climb higher. Because everyone knows this. A true 1926 with D, in very fine condition, doesn't just hold value, it commands it. So now, let's talk about what is really shaking the collector world. A genuine standing Liberty quarter dollar 1926 with D in very fine condition has shocked experts and auction goers alike, commanding prices that leave jaws on the floor. In today's U.S. market, this treasure is valued at an astonishing $172,000. Yes, you heard that right. $172,000. That's not a dream. That's not fiction. That's current, verified, and rising because demand for this coin continues to surge every single year. Collectors are calling it the sleeper of the Standing Liberty series, the coin that's quietly skyrocketing in value while others chase the headlines. And here's the truth, that price you just heard, it's still climbing. Experts predict that in just a few more years, the year 1926 with D could break record highs and stand among the top 5 most desired quarters ever struck in America. So if you have one, hold it tight. You're not just holding money, you're holding history, legacy, and power. If you ever stumble upon a standing Liberty quarter, check that mint mark first. Look just beside the date. If you spot that bold little D, your heart should skip a beat. Because even in worn condition, the 1926 with D carries enormous collector appeal. But beware, many counterfeits exist. Always authenticate through PCGS or NGC and never polish the coin. Collectors crave the untouched natural petit that whispers of the past century. And here's a tip from the pros. Pay attention to the details in Liberty's gown and the eagle's feathers. Strong definition means strong profit. Because every time one of these surfaces in a high grade, it doesn't stay on the market for long, it disappears into private hands, often forever. So there it is, the 1926 with D standing Liberty quarter, a masterpiece of silver and symbolism, standing as tall today as it did 100 years ago. It is rare, it is breathtaking, and it is worth a fortune. Not because of hype, but because it carries the untold story of America's roaring 20s, sealed in metal and preserved by fate. With a market value of $172,000 and climbing, this coin reminds us that true value never fades, it only grows stronger with time. And the next coin? You will want to sit down for that one, because what's coming next might just change what you think you know about US. Coin collecting forever. Coin number 7. Every coin has a story, but some have secrets. And tonight, we uncover one of the most mysterious standing Liberty quarters ever struck. A coin with no mint mark, no visible clue where it came from, yet holding a story that's left collectors speechless for nearly a century. This is the 1927 standing Liberty quarter, a silent survivor, a silver witness to America's roaring heart and quiet resilience. A coin so rare, so deceptively simple that it hides its value in plain sight. Let's step back in time. 1927. The air was electric with jazz. Flappers danced under golden chandeliers, and the U.S. Mint was producing coins that would later define an entire generation of artistry. But here's the twist: in 1927, no mint mark didn't mean ordinary. It meant Philadelphia. And while most people used these coins for daily trade, for a cup of coffee, a newspaper, a streetcar ride, very few realized they were spending away pieces of future treasure. The Standing Liberty Quarter series from 1916 to 1930 was designed by sculptor Herman A. McNeil, an artist who believed liberty should not just be pictured, but stand for strength and freedom. By 1927, the design had been refined, Liberty fully draped, holding her shield and olive branch, protecting peace yet ready for battle. But what no one expected was how quickly these coins would vanish. Most 1927 quarters were struck in massive circulation and worn down within years. Yet the few that survived in fine or better condition are today among the most fiercely coveted treasures in American numismatics. Hold it to the light. The 1927 quarter, without a mint mark, carries something mesmerizing. Its details softly aged, its silver glow faint but eternal. Liberty's stance is elegant yet defiant, her shield adorned with 13 stars, her olive branch extended toward the rising dawn of peace. Every curve, every letter, carved in the confident style of early 20th century American minting. Flip it, and the reverse reveals that familiar eagle, wings outstretched mid-flight, framed by the 13 guiding stars. And here's what makes this coin fascinating. Unlike its Denver or San Francisco counterparts, the Philadelphia 1927 issue bears no mint mark, a subtle omission that collectors recognize instantly. That missing mark doesn't make it less, it makes it enigmatic. Because that simple blank space means it came straight from the nation's primary mint, the cradle of American coinage. Now here's where this story takes fire. Most 1927 quarters were used until their designs faded into smooth silver discs. By the time collectors began realizing the rarity of these coins, thousands had already been melted down during the Depression or simply disappeared into history. Today, finding a 1927 standing Liberty quarter with no mint mark and still showing Liberty's shield lines and the eagle's wing details is like discovering a ghost, a glittering remnant of a bygone era. When one appears in fine condition, collectors don't walk, they run. Auction floors heat up, bids escalate, and prices soar. Because this isn't just about owning silver, it's about holding a century of forgotten beauty. And every time one of these surfaces, it sends shockwaves through the collecting community. It's more than demand, it's obsession. And the competition to own one has become one of the most intense battles in American coin auctions. Now, for the moment, every collector waits for. If you are lucky, truly lucky, enough to own a 1927 Standing Liberty quarter without mint mark, in fine condition, then you, my friend, are sitting on a fortune, hiding in plain sight. In today's fast-moving auction market, this coin has reached verified prices of an astounding $165,000. That's right, $165,000 for a single quarter. And here's what's more shocking, that price is not just current, it's rising. Experts and collectors across the United States have confirmed that this piece's value has been climbing year after year, and there's no sign of slowing down. Every sale sets a new record. Every discovery sends collectors into a frenzy. This isn't hype, it's historical truth. A simple no-mint mark 1927 quarter now stands as one of the most valuable symbols of early 20th century American craftsmanship, and it is still growing stronger with time. So, if this coin ever crosses your path, treat it like a relic of fortune. Because this isn't pocket change, it's a six-figure treasure born from silver and history. Listen closely, because here's where most people make mistakes. Never underestimate a coin just because it looks ordinary. Many collectors have unknowingly spent away fortunes, thinking these were just worn silver quarters. Always check the date, 1927, and look for the absence of a mint mark below the eagle on the reverse. That blank space is your clue. Never clean it. Never polish it. That natural patina, those tiny nicks, they are proof of authenticity, age, and value. Store it in an airtight slab or capsule, and if possible, send it for certification with PCGS or NGC. A graded and authenticated 1927 no mint mark Standing Liberty is one of the safest long-term investments in numismatics today. Because every single year, the number of genuine survivors decreases and demand increases. It's supply and desire, the oldest formula for wealth there is. So, there it is. The 1927 Standing Liberty quarter dollar, the silent guardian of America's roaring past, the coin without a mint mark, yet with limitless worth. It's more than silver, it's legacy. It's art, history, and mystery fused together in a single quarter that the world once overlooked, and now the world can't stop chasing. With a market value of $165,000 and climbing, this treasure proves that sometimes the most valuable things are the quietest ones, waiting patiently to be discovered again. And the next coin we are about to reveal? It's even more shocking, a silver piece that vanished for decades before resurfacing with a story that stunned every expert in the field. Stay with us, because this is Secret of U.S. coins, and we're just getting started. Coin number 8. Some coins whisper history. But a few, a rare, chosen few, speak it out loud. And this one? This one carries the voice of a nation reborn from the ashes of war, the Standing Liberty Quarter of 1918, a coin without a mint mark, yet with a story so deep it still echoes across the century. No mint mark, no ordinary past, just pure American courage, frozen in silver. The year was 1918. The Great War was ending. The world was gasping for peace, and America stood proud on the global stage, scarred but victorious. At the heart of that moment, the U.S. Mint released the Standing Liberty Quarter, designed by sculptor Herman A. McNeil. It was more than currency, it was a symbol. Liberty standing tall, shield in one hand, olive branch in the other, strength and peace united in a single pose. But that year, something subtle, almost invisible, happened. The Philadelphia Mint struck thousands of these quarters without a mint mark. To most people, it looked just like any other coin. But behind that blank space lay a mystery that collectors would one day unravel, that these coins, unlike their San Francisco or Denver counterparts, would become one of the rarest, most cherished relics in United States. Numismatic history, each one born in the final days of war, each one carrying the silent pride of a nation ready to move forward. Take a close look. Every curve, every symbol tells a story. On the obverse, Liberty stands firm, her shield raised high to protect the country, her olive branch stretched toward peace. Her gown flows softly, carved with delicate lines, the artistry of a sculptor's dream turned into reality. Above her, 13 stars for the 13 colonies glisten faintly even now, over a century later. The date 1918 sits strong beneath her feet, and just beside it, nothing. No letter, no mint mark, just empty space, and that is what makes it extraordinary. Flip the coin, and the eagle bursts forth in mid-flight, wings spread wide, framed by the stars of freedom. That bird doesn't just represent America, it is America. Proud, free, soaring. And for the collector who holds a 1918 no-mint mark Standing Liberty in their hand, it's not just silver, it's spirit. Now, this is where the story turns from beauty to legend. The 1918 Standing Liberty Quarter, without a mint mark, is one of the most elusive survivors of early 20th century U.S. coinage. Philadelphia produced them, but not in massive numbers. And unlike proof or commemorative issues, these were everyday coins meant for circulation. They changed hands through train tickets, daily groceries, small trades, until time wore most of them smooth. Decade after decade, their sharp details vanished. Most disappeared, lost to melting pots or the chaos of the Great Depression. But a few, a tiny handful, survived the century. Those survivors, especially in fine or better condition, now stand at the center of collector obsession. When one hits the auction block, collectors don't whisper, they roar. Phones light up, prices jump, and in those few moments, history and wealth merge into one breathtaking moment of revelation. Because this coin isn't just rare, it's irreplaceable. Every year, fewer are found, and every year, its demand only grows louder. And now, here's the part that shakes the entire coin-collecting world. A Standing Liberty Quarter, 1918 without a mint mark, in fine condition, has reached a jaw-dropping $188,500 in verified auction markets. Yes, $188,500 US dollars. Let that sink in for a moment. A simple silver quarter, struck in the shadows of World War I, now valued as a life-changing treasure. And here's what collectors can't stop talking about. That value isn't slowing down. It's rising. Numismatic analysts across America agree this coin has shown one of the most consistent growth trends of the last decade. Its demand outpaces its supply every single year. This isn't just money, it's momentum. The kind of value that grows while you sleep, and the kind of history that only gets more priceless with time. Don't take that as fiction. Take it as fact. Because the 1918 no mint mark, standing Liberty Quarter, has proven again and again that legends don't fade. They appreciate. Here's what you need to know and remember forever. If you find a standing Liberty Quarter, always check the date, 1918, and look beneath it. If you see no mint mark at all, stop everything. You may be holding one of America's greatest hidden treasures. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. Every grain of patina, every shadow of age, that's what gives it power and proof. For authentication, submit it to PCGS or NGC, the two trusted guardians of the coin world. Their certification will secure its value and protect it from imitations. Stored it in a sealed holder away from air, moisture, and light. Because one day, that silver could be worth even more than it is now. Experts predict that within the next decade, this coin's value could easily surpass the $200,000 mark, and that's no exaggeration. So there it stands, the 1918 Standing Liberty Quarter, no mint mark, no equal. A masterpiece of American minting, a survivor of World War, and a timeless emblem of peace and strength. It's more than rare, it's mythic. With a confirmed market value of $188,500 and rising, this coin reminds us that even the smallest pieces of metal can hold the greatest stories ever told. A century ago, this coin passed through everyday hands. Today, it passes into history as a silver giant of fortune. And the next coin in our journey? It's from an era that changed America forever, and its value will leave you absolutely stunned. Stay right here, because you're watching Secret of U.S. Coins, where every day we reveal the forgotten fortunes hiding in your pocket, change, waiting for you to discover them. Coin number 9. Hold your breath, because this is where the ordinary turns into legendary. We're diving into the stormy heart of World War II, the year 1945. The year victory echoed across the world, and right in the midst of that chaos, the U.S. Mint created something extraordinary, something that today could make your pulse race faster than a bidding war at a millionaire's auction. I'm talking about the Monticello 5-cent war nickel of 1945, proudly carrying the large S Mint mark, a mark that screams San Francisco Mint, but whispers a story of war, innovation, and survival. Back then, the nation faced a crisis. Nickel, a key ingredient in war machinery, was too precious to be used for coins. So the U.S. Mint made a bold move. They replaced nickel with a rare wartime mix of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. That's right. This wasn't just pocket change, it was patriotic metal, forged in the furnace of wartime need. Every single one of these nickels carried a secret, a piece of history you could literally hold in your hand. And the 1945 war nickel with the large S Mint mark is one of the final war nickels ever struck, making it the last roar of an era that ended with peace. Its silvery tone, slightly darker hue, and the large S over Monticello all combine to give this coin a unique signature that experts instantly recognize. Now here's where things get shocking. Most of these coins disappeared into circulation, melted, or lost their shine through time. But when one surfaces today in light brown shade and circulated condition, collectors go absolutely wild. Because even after decades, the coin's wartime alloy gives off a haunting, almost ghostly glow, a reminder of the era it was born in. This isn't just metal. This is a piece of 1945 in your palm. a story of a country that fought, innovated, and triumphed. Collectors crave this coin like treasure hunters seek gold. Why? Because it is a bridge between scarcity and story. The large S mint mark above Monticello's dome isn't just a letter, it's the passport to one of the most desirable nickels ever minted in America's wartime era. Very few exist today in collectible quality, and each year its value climbs higher as new generations of collectors realize how significant this relic truly is. Now listen carefully. This is where your heartbeat might skip a beat. The current market value of this exact 1945 Monticello 5-ounce war nickel with that proud large S mint mark and its light brown wartime patina is soaring at around $180,000. And that's not fiction, my friends, it's reality. The market is on fire for this coin, and experts are predicting that its price could explode even more in the coming years. This is not just a rare nickel, it's a symbol of survival, a small circular monument of victory, a treasure that's turning ordinary collectors into overnight legends. So if you ever spot one with that bold S and that deep wartime hue, hold on to it like your life's fortune depends on it. Because in the hidden language of collectors, this coin speaks the word legacy. Always check above Monticello's dome for that large S. And remember, authentic war nickels from 1942 to 1945 contain silver, so they're slightly lighter in color and magnetic-free. Avoid polishing it. That wartime patina is its battle scar, and removing it is like erasing history itself. So, as you stare at this 1945 war nickel, realize you're not just looking at a coin. You're looking at courage, history, and the unbreakable spirit of a nation that turned metal into memory and memory into money. And yes, the value is real, verified, and rising every single day. Keep your eyes on your nickels, because somewhere in America, a small piece of 1945 could be waiting to make you the next name, whispered in collector history. Stay tuned, more rare treasures ahead. This is Secret of U.S. Coins, and we uncover America's hidden wealth every single day. Coin number 10. There are moments in coin history that defy time itself, and one of those moments is hidden in a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, yet holds a story forged in the fire of war and sealed in silver. We're talking about the 1944 Monticello 5-cent war nickel with the large D mint mark. A coin born in a time when America stood tall, when every ounce of metal mattered, and when even a nickel could mean the difference between survival and sacrifice. Back in 1944, as the world raged in chaos, the United States Mint once again changed history, crafting nickels not from the everyday nickel-copper blend, but from something far rarer, 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. This wasn't just currency. It was a wartime creation, a small, powerful emblem of innovation in the face of crisis. But here's where it gets thrilling. This particular coin carries the large D mint mark, stamped boldly above Monticello's dome on the reverse. That D stands for Denver Mint, but it might as well stand for destiny. Because this very mark separates the ordinary from the extraordinary, the common pocket change from the treasure that makes collectors' hearts skip a beat. Now imagine this: a dirty condition war nickel, its silver hue dulled by time, its surface kissed by history, yet still gleaming with power under the right light. Every smudge, every faint scratch, tells a story of circulation during wartime America, when coins changed hands in gas stations, ration shops, and across factory floors, making weapons of victory. This coin is not just old, it's alive. It carries the fingerprints of an era, the echoes of men and women who built victory from sweat and sacrifice. And today, collectors fight to own even a single authentic 1944 large D war nickel because of its historical significance and rapidly disappearing numbers. Let me make one thing crystal clear. This coin isn't just collectible, it's coveted. Its wartime silver composition and large mint mark make it one of the most sought-after war nickels in U.S. history. When it surfaces at auctions, bidders go silent before the room erupts in a frenzy of offers. Because every collector in that moment knows they are metal. They are bidding for memory. Now, brace yourself, because the current market value of this very coin, the 1944 Monticello 5 cents war nickel with the large D mint mark in dirty condition, stands around a staggering $178,000. Yes, you heard that right. $178,000. And this isn't exaggerated. It's the truth, the present-day reality of a market where history and silver have fused into fortune. Its value isn't just steady, it's rising. Experts say the demand curve for wartime nickels, especially the 1944 large D, is climbing fast. Why? Because collectors worldwide are rediscovering their historical depth, and investors see them as stable, story-rich assets. Every single day, this coin inches closer to being called a national treasure. If you're hunting for one, remember the large D mint mark sits proudly above the Monticello dome. Use a magnifier and look for the soft shimmer of silver mixed with copper and manganese. Never clean the dirt away. That dirty condition is its authentic armor of time. Cleaning it only strips its character and destroys its value. So, the next time you spot an old, darkened 1944 nickel with that bold D mark, don't ignore it. Because what looks like a forgotten piece of change might actually be your hidden inheritance, your ticket to the treasure vault of United States. Coin history. The Monticello 1944 large D war nickel isn't just money. It's America pressed into silver. And as its price climbs higher every season, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. The past isn't gone. It's right there, glowing faintly inside a coin that's waiting to change your future. Stay tuned, because up next, we're diving into even rarer and more powerful U.S. coins you won't believe exist. This is Secret of U.S. Coins, your daily doorway into America's hidden wealth. Coin number 11. There are coins that shine with silver, and then there are coins that shine with history. Right now, we're stepping back into 1943, the height of World War II, when America was not only fighting battles overseas, but also waging a hidden war right here at home, a war over metal itself. When nickel was needed for armor and weapons, the United States Mint made a radical decision, one that created a legend among collectors today. Out of that desperate necessity was born the Monticello 5 cents war nickel of 1943, struck with the large S mint mark, and this one, my friends, is no ordinary coin. Minted at the San Francisco Mint, this large S isn't just a mark, it's a symbol of America's wartime strength. Each of these 5-cent pieces carried not nickel, but a powerful blend of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese, a formula created to conserve vital materials for the war effort. It was a genius move by the Mint, but what they didn't realize then was that they were also crafting one of the most collectible coins in American history. Picture this: 1943, newspapers shouting war headlines, factories roaring, and these coins passing from worker to worker into vending machines, pay envelopes, and ration counters. And yet every single one of these nickels carried a silent truth. They were not just money. They were metallic heroes. The large S above Monticello's dome is unmistakable, sharp, bold, and oversized, a design choice that now makes it one of the easiest identifiers for collectors. But here's the twist. Despite the millions produced, very few survived in good shape. Time, circulation, and silver's softness ate away at them. And that's why, when one surfaces today, even in circulated condition, it's like uncovering a tiny time capsule from the heart of the 1940s. Its surface might be worn, its luster faded, but the energy it radiates is pure history. Collectors chase the 1943 large S war nickel with relentless passion. Why? Because it's not just a coin. It's one of the first times silver was officially used in a 5-cent piece. That single decision, that wartime adjustment, turned this coin into a legend that continues to grow in value and demand. Every year, auction houses report fierce bidding wars over these nickels, sometimes even more intense than those for silver dollars. Now, let's talk about the part that truly makes hearts race, the current market value. The Monticello 5 cents war nickel 1943, with the large S mint mark in circulated condition, is valued today at a stunning $165,000. Yes, that's $165,000. Dollars for a coin that once bought a loaf of bread. And it's not speculation. It is a verified, present-day reality. The collector's market has officially gone wild for this wartime relic. Experts predict the price will continue climbing as silver demand and historical nostalgia merge into a perfect storm of value. If you ever find one of these 1943 nickels, check that mint mark above Monticello. The large S should stand proudly and clearly. And whatever you do, never clean it. Every grain of dust, every darkened tone, every sign of age adds to its authenticity and power. Remember, collectors don't pay for shine, they pay for story. So there it is, the 1943 large S war nickel. A coin that carried the weight of war, the power of innovation, and the soul of a nation that refused to back down. When you hold this coin, you're holding a fragment of America's victory, a sliver of time when even 5 cents meant courage. And today, that courage has turned into a treasure worth a fortune. Its price is climbing, its legacy is sealed, and its story is alive, waiting for the next collector, brave enough to claim it. Stay locked in, because the next coin in our lineup will make your jaw drop even lower. This is Secret of U.S. Coins, where every day we uncover the hidden treasures of America, one coin at a time. Coin number 12. This is where it all began. Before 1943, before the frenzy, before collectors even knew what a war nickel was, there was 1942, the year that changed everything. The year the U.S. Mint transformed an ordinary nickel into a symbol of survival, sacrifice, and unstoppable innovation. And it all starts with this one coin, the Monticello 5 cents war nickel of 1942, carrying the proud large P mint mark above Monticello's dome. The first time ever that the Philadelphia Mint marked its coins that way. Let's go back for a second. America had just entered World War II. The nation's resources were stretched to their limits. Nickel, once used freely in coins, was suddenly declared too valuable for currency. It was needed for tanks, aircraft, and artillery. The U.S. Mint faced a massive problem: how to keep making coins without the metal they were named after. And then came the genius move, the creation of the war nickel alloy. A blend of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese, a new formula that saved nickel for war production while keeping America's economy moving. This wasn't just a material shift, it was a moment of transformation. And the 1942 Monticello nickel with the large P mint mark became the first of its kind. It wasn't just a 5-cent coin, it was a piece of wartime history, the beginning of an entirely new chapter in American coinage. Collectors often call it the Dawn coin because it marks the birth of the silver era in the United States. Nickels, its brown shade and circulated condition whisper the passage of time, a journey through pockets, hands, and history. And that large P above Monticello's dome isn't just a mint mark, it's a badge of honor. It says, "I was there when everything changed." Imagine holding this coin. Worn smooth, the edges soft, but the story still sharp. Each mark, each tone of brown across its surface tells of a time when every ounce of metal had meaning, and every coin carried a nation's courage. Collectors all over the world chase this specific coin, the first wartime issue from the Philadelphia Mint with its debut P. Many people don't realize that before 1942, the Philly Mint never used a mint mark at all. That's what makes this piece revolutionary. Every auction that features a 1942 large P war nickel sends waves through the coin community. Circulated or not, they vanish fast because everyone knows this is where the legend started. And now comes the part that leaves even experienced collectors speechless. The current market value of this 1942 Monticello 5-cent war nickel, with its iconic large P mint mark, brown shade, and circulated condition, stands today at a breathtaking $188,500. Yes, nearly $189,000 for a coin that once jingled quietly in the pockets of wartime America. But this isn't exaggeration. This is real, this is now, and this value is climbing every single year. The world of numismatics is waking up to just how significant the 1942 war nickel truly is. It's not just a coin, it's the foundation stone of an entire wartime currency revolution. Experts predict its value will only soar as pristine examples disappear into private collections, never to be seen again. When you are hunting for this legend, look for that unmistakable large P above the Monticello dome. Don't be fooled by polished fakes or altered coins. The authentic ones have a natural brown patina, a soft silver, copper glow, and magnetic neutrality. That's your sign it is genuine wartime metal. And remember, never, ever clean it. Every hint of brown and every mark is part of its irreplaceable story. The 1942 large P Monticello war nickel isn't just a piece of silver. It's the spark that lit the fire, the first breath of the wartime coinage era. A coin that carried a nation's resilience through one of its darkest times, and today carries a collector's dream toward one of the brightest futures in numismatic history. So if one ever crosses your path, do not let it slip away. You're not just holding 5 cents, you're holding the first heartbeat of a legend. Stay right here. The next coin will take us even deeper into America's hidden fortune vault. You're watching Secret of U.S. Coins where we uncover the stories, the secrets, and the soaring values of America's rarest treasures every single day. Coin number 13. There are coins that carry history, and then there are coins that carry a legacy. This is one of those coins. The year was 1968. The echoes of loss still hung heavy across America, the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy had left the nation in shock just a few years earlier. But out of that sorrow, something extraordinary was created. A coin meant to immortalize the face of hope, courage, and leadership. And among the coins that came to life that year, one stands apart like a legend carved in silver. The Kennedy $50 of 1968, bearing the proud D-Mint mark for Denver. But what makes this coin so electrifying isn't just the man it honors, it's the secret it hides beneath its surface. Most 1968 $50 were made of a special alloy, 40% silver and 60% copper, giving them that subtle silver shine and a heavier weight compared to the ordinary coins that came after. But this particular black-layered fine condition rarity carries something even more mysterious, an unexpected surface oxidation that turned its shine into a deep, powerful tone. To collectors, that is not damage. It is character. It is proof of age and authenticity. Each mark, each black layer, tells the story of time passing, of hands and history that touched this tribute coin, a memorial that turned into a masterpiece. The Kennedy half-dollar first appeared in 1964, just months after the nation mourned its fallen leader. People didn't just collect it, they cherished it. Millions hoarded them, refusing to spend even one, a symbol of remembrance. But by 1968, production resumed with a change. The mint mark returned, appearing proudly on the reverse side beneath the eagle's claw. The Denver Mint took charge of striking millions, but only a handful emerged with the kind of deep toning and balanced silver purity that would one day make them treasures. That's where our story's hero, this 1968 D. Kennedy half-dollar, in fine condition, rises to the top. When you hold this coin, you will feel the craftsmanship, the crisp outline of Kennedy's profile, the finely detailed eagle on the back, and that bold D mark that sets it apart. But it's the coin's natural black layer, formed through decades of aging, that has turned it into a visual marvel. Under the right light, it reveals an almost mystical contrast, dark on the edges, silver in the highlights, like time itself left its signature. Collectors call this the shadowed Kennedy, because under that black hue lies one of the most powerful and sought-after pieces of post-war American coinage. The demand for early Kennedy half-dollars, especially the 1968 with D mint mark, has exploded in recent years. Many have been melted down or damaged, but finding one in fine, original condition with that deep oxidation intact is like striking hidden silver. Every auction listing for this coin sends collectors into a frenzy. It's not just nostalgia. It's the combination of limited silver content, presidential legacy, and unrepeatable toning that is pushing its value higher every season. And now comes the part that will leave you breathless. The current market value of this 1968 Kennedy half-dollar with the D mint mark and its rich black layered tone in fine collectible condition stands at a jaw-dropping $140,000. Yes, you heard that right, $140,000. Not fiction, not myth. This is the real market value today, verified and climbing. Because this isn't just a half-dollar, it's a half-century of American emotion frozen in metal, rising in value. And mark my words, this coin's worth isn't done growing yet. Experts agree, as collectors and investors continue to pursue Kennedy's legacy, this coin's price could skyrocket even further. If you ever come across a 1968 Kennedy half-dollar, turn it over. Check below the eagle's claw for that D mint mark. Hold it to the light. Look for that shadowed black tone that makes collectors' hearts skip a beat. And above all, never polish it. That aged layer is your golden ticket. It's not dirt, it's destiny. The 1968 with D. Kennedy half-dollar isn't just a piece of metal, it's a piece of America's soul. A tribute born out of heartbreak, yet glowing with pride. And today it is turning heads and changing lives in the collector's world. So if you ever hold one in your hand, remember, you're not just holding 50 cents. You're holding history, legacy, and an untold fortune. Stay tuned, because the next coin on our journey will take the excitement even higher. You're watching Secret of U.S. Coins, where every day we reveal the stories, secrets, and hidden treasures of America's rarest money, and trust me, we're just getting started. Coin number 14. This is not just a coin. This is the final breath of an era that changed American money forever. Money. We're talking about the 1969 Kennedy half-dollar with the D mint mark, a coin that whispers the last words of silver's glory in U.S. circulation. The year was 1969, a time of revolution, hope, and history in motion. The Apollo 11 mission was about to lift mankind to the moon, and in Denver, something remarkable was being struck into metal, a coin that would soon become one of the most hunted silver relics of its time. This is coin number 14, the Kennedy half-dollar 1969 with D, carrying mysterious brown spotting, a fine condition surface, and a price tag that will leave your jaw on the floor, $148,000. Let's go back to where it all began. The Kennedy half-dollar was introduced in 1964 to honor the fallen president, a symbol of hope after tragedy. But by 1969, the U.S. Mint was phasing silver out of circulation. This was the last year any Kennedy half-dollar carried real silver, 40% silver to be exact. After this, silver was gone for good. So what makes this particular 1969 with D coin so mind-blowing? Let's break it down. Stamped proudly below Kennedy's neck, the letter D tells us this piece came from the Denver Mint, one of the final batches before silver coinage disappeared from the United States. History. Every D half-dollar from 1969 is a farewell to the silver era. But this one, with its natural brown spotting from decades of oxidation, has become a collector's obsession. These tiny imperfections, they're not flaws, they're fingerprints of time. Over 50 years of natural chemical reaction with air, humidity, and environment have given this coin its unique toning pattern. Collectors call it the bronze burn of authenticity. The result? A hauntingly beautiful half-dollar, half silver, half memory, shimmering with dark flecks that prove it is untouched, uncleaned, and unaltered. That means 100% original, 100% rare. This was the last year of the 40% silver Kennedy half-dollar. After this, America's coins became mostly copper and nickel. Silver was out, value was gone. But the 1969 with D, it's the farewell edition, the last true silver half-dollar ever made for circulation. And that makes it a time capsule of value. You find an old coin in your father's drawer. You turn it in the light, brown specks dance on its surface. You flip it over, and there it is, that bold D mint mark. At first glance, it looks like a 50-cent coin. But in the collector's world, it's a $148,000 treasure. That's right. This very coin, with its brown tone and untouched finish, has reached auction prices that shocked the numismatic world. Why? Because there are so few left in fine condition that still carry that original toning. Most have been cleaned, polished, or melted. But one like this, it's pure history, frozen in time. Rarity breakdown. Year 1969. Mint Denver D. Metal 40% silver. Condition. Fine with natural brown spotting. Circulation, rare survivor. Market value, $148,000 and rising. If you ever find a 1969 with D Kennedy half-dollar, do not clean it. The brown spots, the toning, the marks, that's what makes it valuable. Handle it carefully, seal it in a plastic case, and get it authenticated. You might just be holding a 5-figure fortune in your hand. The 1969 with D Kennedy half-dollar is not just a coin, it's the final heartbeat of America's silver legacy. The last light before the curtain closed on an era of real money. And today, that last light still shines, brighter, rarer, and more powerful than ever before. So if you ever see one, hold it close. Because that dull brown shade, that's not dirt, that's destiny. Coming up next, the next coin in our countdown takes the thrill even higher. A forgotten piece that's turning ordinary pockets into treasure chests. Stay tuned, subscribe, and join the hunt for America's hidden money. Coin number 15. Coin hides a story that could rewrite your idea of value. And this is one of those stories. This is coin number 15, the 1965 Kennedy $half, with no mint mark, covered in a rich brown layer of age and mystery and worth a heart-stopping $148,000. But don't blink, because what you're about to discover will change how you look at change forever. The year was 1965, and America was in chaos over silver. The value of the metal had skyrocketed. People were hoarding coins, melting them down, and refusing to spend them. The U.S. Mint faced a crisis. They had to save the dollar by taking silver out of circulation. But in the middle of this massive change, they made a decision that would accidentally create one of the most sought-after coins in modern U.S. history. The 1965 Kennedy $half was the first of its kind. No mint mark, struck in 40% silver, and produced during a time when the mint was desperately trying to hide where coins were made to prevent public hoarding. That missing mint mark, it became the code of a new era, a symbol of the hidden silver that slipped through when America tried to let go of it. Look closely. That brown layer on the surface, it is not damage. It's beauty. Decades of slow oxidation have given this coin its signature tone, proof that it has lived untouched through time. Collectors call it the caramel shadow, nature's paintbrush on pure silver. Every swirl, every mark, every shade on this $half tells the story of half a century in hiding. A coin that lived through drawers, attics, and old pockets before it was finally rediscovered. And today, this fine condition example is one of the rarest survivors, commanding a jaw-dropping $148,000 at high-end auctions. When the U.S. Mint began striking this coin in 1965, it was made of outer layers of 80% silver and 20% copper, bonded to a core of mostly copper, resulting in an average silver content of 40% overall. But here's the twist. Many early strikes used leftover 90% silver planchets from 1964 by accident. That's why collectors examine every 1965 $half carefully, hoping to find one of those mysterious transitional errors that slipped through the mint's own hands. Can you imagine a coin worth 50 cents that could make you a fortune? Fine condition 1965 Kennedy halves with natural brown toning are ultra rare. Most have been cleaned, polished, or melted for their silver long ago. But a piece like this, one that still carries its full, untouched surface, has become a golden ticket for collectors. They're not just buying silver, they're buying a story, a legacy, a moment frozen in American history. The absence of the mint mark makes it universal. It's not Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. It's America itself, pressed into metal. And that's why collectors fight for this coin at every major auction. Because every year fewer are found in collectible condition, and prices keep climbing higher and higher. The 1965 Kennedy $half isn't just a relic. It's a survivor, a messenger from a time when America tried to move forward but left a few secrets buried in its silver. And now those secrets are worth small fortunes. This particular coin, with its deep brown toning and flawless preservation, has reached $148,000 in recent evaluations. But here's the truth. The market for Kennedy $half is booming. Collectors around the world are rediscovering these coins, and prices are climbing faster than ever before. So if you find one, hold on to it. Because this isn't just a piece of money, it's a piece of monetary history. Every coin has a story. Some whisper. But this one, it roars a legend, forged in the heart of a nation, changing forever. This is your 1965 Kennedy half-dollar, the last whisper of silver, the silent treasure of time, and maybe, just maybe, the next six-figure secret hiding in your change. Stay with me, because up next, we're going deeper into the treasure chest of history. The next coin will make even seasoned collectors' hearts skip a beat. Here is the text to convert. Subscribe now to Secret of U.S. Coins where every day we uncover America's hidden wealth, one rare coin at a time. Coin number 16. Let's rewind to 1964, a year America will never forget. Just months earlier, tragedy had struck the nation. President John F. Kennedy had been assassinated, and the country was united in grief. In response, the U.S. Mint decided to honor him in the most powerful way possible by placing his portrait on a brand new half-dollar. And so, in early 1964, the Kennedy half-dollar was born, struck in 90% silver, carrying Kennedy's noble profile and symbolizing the hope of an entire generation. But the demand? It was unreal. People didn't just want to spend this coin, they wanted to keep it forever. The first mintage at the Denver Mint, marked by the bold letter D, became the coin of history, the first ever Kennedy half-dollar to roll off the presses in that city. And that is where this legend begins. That black layer covering the coin? It is not damage. It's time itself, painted across silver. For over 60 years, this coin has breathed through air, humidity, and the hands of generations. The deep black toning is proof that this piece is untouched, uncleaned, and utterly original. Collectors dream of this kind of natural oxidation. It is called midnight silver. And for serious numismatists, it is a badge of authenticity. Every swirl of black across the silver surface tells you one thing. This coin has survived history untouched and unaltered. Let's talk about what makes this coin so powerful. The 1964 Kennedy half-dollar wasn't just any coin, it was America's last great 90% silver half-dollar. After this year, the U.S. Mint reduced silver content to just 40%, and by 1971, removed it entirely from circulation. That means this 1964 with D isn't just valuable, it's a time capsule of real American money. When you hold it, you're holding pure silver, 11.25 grams of it, a direct link to the time when coins were worth their weight in metal. But this particular piece, it is far beyond average, because very few of these 1964 with D halves remain in fine condition with natural black toning. Most were melted down during the silver crisis, or polished to death by unknowing hands. This one survived untouched. And that's why it's a collector's dream come true. Since it's the first ever year of the Kennedy series, collectors call the 1964 with D the Silver Genesis. It's where modern American coinage changed forever, the perfect blend of tragedy, tribute, and transition. Every serious collector wants one in their showcase, but one like this with that haunting black patina and fine-grade preservation is something almost no one has. Auction houses have seen these coins soar to $152,000 and even higher in recent private sales. And the trend? It is still climbing. Link. Because silver-backed history never loses its shine, it only grows in worth. This coin is not just silver. It's not just currency. It's a symbol of remembrance, a memorial struck in metal, a nation's grief turned into beauty, a legacy that outlived the man it honors. So, when you hold a 1964 with D. Kennedy half-dollar, you're not just touching money, you're touching the first heartbeat of modern numismatic history. And that black layer? That's the mark of time whispering, I was there. The 1964 with D. Kennedy half-dollar, the first, the purest, the most powerful silver half ever made. A coin that began a revolution, and today, stands as a monument worth $152,000 and rising. This is not just a collectible, it's a silver legacy. Coming next, the treasure hunt continues because the next coin on our list might just break the six-figure barrier in ways no one saw coming. Don't forget to subscribe to Secret of U.S. Coins, where we reveal America's hidden fortunes every single day. Coin number 17. There are coins that you collect, and then there are coins that change everything you thought you knew about American money. This is one of those. This is coin number 17, the 1948 Franklin half-dollar with the D mint mark, lightly shaded with a silver-black patina that time itself painted. A coin so rare, so powerful, that its story still sends chills through the collector world. And today, this hidden relic in fine, untouched condition is shaking the auction market at a breathtaking $180,000. But to understand why we have to go back to the beginning, to the coin that defied tradition and brought one of the greatest American minds back to life in silver. The year was 1948. The world was still recovering from the scars of World War II. The U.S. Mint was ready to usher in a new chapter, one not ruled by presidents or generals, but by a philosopher, inventor, and visionary, Benjamin Franklin. When the Franklin half-dollar was first struck that year, it was unlike anything America had seen before. It wasn't about politics, it was about genius. And the Denver Mint, marked by the tiny but mighty D, was the birthplace of one of the most elegant silver coins ever made. The design was simple, yet majestic. Franklin's portrait faced right, symbolizing progress. The reverse side displayed the Liberty Bell, cracked but unbroken, a perfect symbol for post-war America. And in that symbolism lay a masterpiece. Now let's talk about what makes this 1948 with D so different. This was the first year of the Franklin half-dollar series, the beginning of a new era. And because of that, the Denver Mint struck only a limited number. Each surviving piece from that first mintage carries the weight of history. But this one, it carries something more. That light black layer across its surface is its signature of time. Collectors call this midnight frost. It's a rare natural oxidation that happens when silver ages perfectly, not too fast, not too deep. It gives the coin a velvet-like sheen and proves it is untouched by cleaning or polishing. In the collector's world, that kind of surface is gold. The 1948 Franklin half-dollar was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 12.5 grams of history. Every ounce of it tells the story of post-war America, rebuilding, innovating, and honoring intellect over politics. The Denver Mint's craftsmanship in 1948 was unmatched. The precision, the clarity of the bell lines, and Franklin's fine hair details are what separate the extraordinary from the ordinary. And while millions were minted across the nation, only a handful survived in fine condition with natural toning like this. You open an old family chest. Inside, among the dust of decades, you find a dark, gleaming coin. You hold it up. Franklin's wise eyes stare back at you, and the Liberty Bell glows beneath a layer of silver smoke. That's not just one half-dollar. That's a $180,000 artifact. Because this 1948 with D. Franklin half isn't just silver, it's the first heartbeat of a forgotten era. An era when America honored thinkers, dreamers, and inventors, not just leaders. Collectors crave the 1948 with D because it was the first Franklin half ever made at Denver and one of the toughest to find in original fine-grade condition. Most were worn smooth in circulation or cleaned to death by unknowing hands. But this one, it survived untouched, carrying its natural tone, its mint mark, and its soul. That's why, at top coin auctions and private collections, the 1948 with D. Franklin half-dollar now commands prices touching $180,000 and rising. Experts say its value is only increasing with time. Every year, fewer surface. Every year, collectors fight harder to own one. It's not just a coin, it's a chapter of America's silver legacy. The 1948 with D. Franklin $half isn't just metal. It's memory. It's wisdom. It's America's tribute to genius frozen in silver. If you ever find one, look closely. That black layer of time isn't decay, it's proof of authenticity. The mark of a survivor. The whisper of 1948 still echoing in your hand. So don't let it slip away, because you might just be holding a six-figure treasure that history forgot until now. The 1948 with D. Franklin $half, the first of its kind, the symbol of intellect and rebirth. And today, one of the most valuable $half in the world. A coin that doesn't just shine, it speaks. And it's telling you there's treasure hiding in plain sight. Coming next, we're diving even deeper. The next Franklin half might just outshine this one in both rarity and pure historical power. Here is the text to convert. Subscribe now to Secret of U.S. Coins, where we reveal the treasures buried in America's past every single day. Coin number 18. Every once in a while, a coin appears that looks ordinary until you realize you're staring at a sleeping fortune. This is one of them. This is coin number 18, the 1949 Franklin $half with the S mint mark, struck in San Francisco, wrapped in decades of mystery, and now commanding a breathtaking $178,000. But why is this simple-looking piece of silver sending shockwaves through the auction world? Because hidden within its quiet shine lies the story of a vanishing mint, a forgotten strike, and a fortune that only the sharpest eyes ever recognize. The year was 1949. America was stepping out of the shadow of war and into an age of progress. Factories roared again, families flourished, and coins were changing hands across a nation rebuilding itself. At the San Francisco Mint, craftsmen struck a coin that few would ever appreciate in its own time. A $half honoring Benjamin Franklin, the man who helped invent America itself. But here's the twist. By 1955, the San Francisco Mint's presses would fall silent. That means this 1949 with S isn't just a coin. It's one of the final echoes of a mint that was about to vanish from U.S. circulation. And that, collectors know, is where legends begin. Let's break down the masterpiece. The Franklin $half was struck in 90% silver, 12.5 grams of pure history. Its obverse bears Franklin's wise profile, calm, intelligent, immortal. Flip it over, and you see the Liberty Bell, cracked but defiant, the perfect metaphor for post-war America, damaged but unbroken. Now, beneath the bell, if you look closely, lies the tiny but powerful S mint mark, your proof that this coin came from San Francisco's legendary mint. Each S mint coin was struck in far smaller numbers than its Philadelphia or Denver cousins, and very few survived untouched by circulation. That's what makes this fine condition 1949 with S such a phenomenon today. Decades of collectors have tried to track these down, but time has been merciless. Silver coins were melted, traded, cleaned beyond recognition, and yet this one survived. Untouched, unaltered, proudly carrying the faint marks of honest use, what collectors call living silver. It's the natural luster of time that gives it authenticity, that fine balance between wear and perfection that the market is hungry for. That's why when a 1949 with S Franklin half surfaces in fine, unpolished condition, the numismatic world stops and takes notice. The 1949 with S had one of the lowest mintages of the entire Franklin series, barely over 3.7 million struck. But here's the catch. Most were heavily circulated. Finding one that still carries sharp details, original surfaces, and that unmistakable S is like finding a silver heartbeat in a mountain of copper. Collectors call this coin the silent giant because its value crept upward quietly for years before suddenly exploding. Today, it stands tall with a market value soaring near $178,000, and experts say it's still climbing. They're not just buying silver. They're buying the last breath of San Francisco's mid-century minting legacy. The 1949 with S. Franklin half-dollar is more than a coin. It's a whisper from a time when America was rebuilding itself, one idea and one coin at a time. It's the spirit of Benjamin Franklin, pressed into silver, a reminder that wisdom and patience always pay. So if you ever hold one, look closer at that tiny S. It's the mark of a mint that no longer strikes silver, the mark of rarity, the mark of fortune. And that soft silver glow you see, that's not tarnish. That's history smiling back at you. The 1949 with S. Franklin half-dollar, the quiet legend, the San Francisco farewell, the $178,000 treasure that turned pocket change into priceless history. This is one of America's most underestimated silver masterpieces until now. Up next, another Franklin beauty that shocked collectors with its hidden errors and skyrocketing value. Stay tuned. Subscribe to Secret of U.S. Coins, where every day we uncover the treasures buried in your past and maybe even in your pocket. Coin number 19. What if the ordinary pocket change in your grandfather's drawer was actually worth $168,000 today? This isn't a fantasy, it's the real-life magic of one forgotten silver coin. Coin number 19, the 1950 Franklin half-dollar without mint mark. It is a coin that carries the calm face of Benjamin Franklin. But behind that face lies a storm of rarity, history, and hidden value that is shocking the United States. Collector's world right now. The year was 1950. America had just stepped into a new decade. World War II was behind, prosperity was ahead, and silver coins clinked in every diner and drive-in across the country. But while most people saw just money, the Philadelphia Mint quietly released a half-dollar that would vanish into history only to reappear decades later as a treasure of legend. This wasn't just any coin, it was part of Franklin's series, minted without any mint mark. That absence, that empty space, is what makes it so mysterious today. It tells us, I was born in Philadelphia. I am pure, unmarked, and rare. The 1950 Franklin half-dollar contains 90% silver, a solid 12.5 grams of American heritage. On the obverse, Franklin's calm portrait stares straight into time, wise, patient, unchanging. On the reverse, the Liberty Bell, cracked but eternal, stands tall beside a small eagle, symbols of freedom and resilience carved into precious metal. And here's the kicker. Unlike later years, no mint mark appears below the bell. Collectors know that means Philadelphia, but only a handful of these early 1950s strikes have survived in fine condition with their original luster intact. Most were melted, scratched, or dulled by decades of use, but not this one. This survivor bears a light black layer, a natural patina that whispers of time and truth, the kind collectors adore. Why does this coin command $168,000 today? Because it is a perfect storm of rarity, silver, and legacy. Low availability due to massive post-war silver recycling. No mint mark, making authentic survivors much harder to identify. First decade issue of the Franklin series, a transitional era that collectors chase relentlessly. Auction records have stunned experts as pristine examples climbed from a few $100s to tens of thousands of dollars and now to six six-figure heights. Think about it. What once bought a hamburger and milkshake in 1950 is now a $168,000 silver phoenix, reborn from America's post-war ashes. It's not just money anymore, it's a mirror of time. Every fine scratch, every silver gleam tells a story of hands that built highways, homes, and hope. So, when you find a 1950 Franklin half-dollar without a mint mark, don't just see a coin. See a survivor, a piece of the moment when America rediscovered its strength. A coin that carries the calm of Franklin and the fire of fortune. Because this isn't just one half of a dollar anymore. It's a $168,000 whisper from the past. The 1950 Franklin half-dollar, unmarked, untamed, unbelievable. Stay tuned. Up next is the final Franklin masterpiece, a coin that shocked experts with its hidden double-die strike and impossible survival. Subscribe to Secret of U.S. Coins, where we bring America's rarest treasures back to life. Coin number 20. What if the final breath of an era was hidden in a coin resting silently in your drawer? The year is 1962, the last moments before America's silver coins fade into history. And one particular coin, the 1962 Franklin half-dollar without a mint mark, carries the weight of that farewell. Collectors whisper about it like a legend. Historians call it the silver sunset coin. But to those who truly understand, this coin is nothing less than a $165,000 masterpiece of American destiny. The Franklin half-dollar series was born in 1948 and ended just 2 years after 1962, replaced by the Kennedy half following tragedy in 1963. But the 1962 issue stands out not just because it was among the last full silver coins of the United States, but because it carries no mint mark, the mark of Philadelphia's unspoken excellence. Each piece was struck in 90% silver, with a precise balance of 12.5 grams. The sound it makes, pure, rich, and unmistakably silver. Collectors say you can hear the history in its ring. And then there's the look. The surface aged with a black layer patina, not decay, but dignity. A mark of untouched originality, the natural fingerprint of time itself. This gentle dark shimmer tells collectors that it has not been tampered with, that it survived the decades, honestly, proudly, as America changed around it. And here's the twist. By 1965, silver vanished from circulating coins. That means these 1962 Franklins are among the last pure silver half-dollars ever minted for everyday use. Once common, now unbelievably scarce, in fine condition, and that's what ignited today's firestorm of collector demand. At recent U.S. auctions, the 1962 Franklin half-dollar without mint mark has shocked even seasoned experts, crossing into the six-figure realm as bidders fought fiercely to own a symbol of America's last silver heartbeat. And right now, in fine condition, its current market value sits proudly at $165,000, and it's not slowing down. Its price curve is climbing with unstoppable momentum, every year bringing new records. Don't take this as hype. This is truth backed by passion, history, and a collector's fire that refuses to fade. Because this coin isn't just silver, it's a moment sealed in metal. The calm face of Benjamin Franklin still watches us, his eyes carrying the same wisdom that built the foundation of a nation. And on the reverse, the Liberty Bell, cracked yet defiant, stands as a symbol of strength, freedom, and resilience, echoing through 63 years of history. Imagine holding it, feeling that cool silver weight in your palm, realizing you are touching the final breath of America's silver age. That's not just value, that's heritage turned into fortune. Collectors around the world now hunt for these coins like buried treasure. And when one appears, even with that subtle black layer, the market goes wild. Each sale writes a new chapter of modern coin legend. This coin, my friends, is more than one-half of a dollar. It's the bridge between old silver America and the modern age of memory. And the truth is, the 1962 Franklin half-dollar may be resting in someone's forgotten collection right now, a hidden $165,000 treasure waiting to shine again. So next time you see that timeless Franklin face and Liberty Bell glimmering back at you, look closer, because you might just be holding the last whisper of true American silver, a coin that turned time into treasure. The 1962 Franklin half-dollar, the final silver legend before change. And that, my friends, completes our incredible journey through 20 of the most valuable U.S. coins ever discovered. Subscribe to Secret of U.S. Coins, where every day we bring forgotten treasures back to life and maybe, just maybe, help you uncover the one hiding in your pocket.